So good morning, everybody. I'm really excited to be here. It's amazing to see this great crowd of creative people all in one place. My name is Martin Gill. I'm heading up the business development at Skånetrafiken. And I'm really not that old in that business, only a year into that job. Most of my career I've spent in mobile and digital service and product development. But in a way, I feel like I'm coming home to the public transport. And I'm not aware of, if you know that sort of the mobile internet, it really arose from the public transport sector. And I'm thinking of iMode and Japan and how that all came to be. So I think that we have an amazing job and journey ahead of us. And we will have a lot of fun and a lot of amazing tools that will come from the digital possibilities for public transport. I'll try to share with you a little bit about our journey ahead and the challenges we have. I thought I'd start with a small teaser of a vision movie that we've made, just to have as an inspiration. So let's see if that works. So I think I'll stop there. You can consider that a little bit of a teaser for the rest of the movie. So if you want to see the rest, you can approach me later. I think there's two messages in this. One is that we're really trying to look beyond just the transport from point A to B. It's really about connecting the consumer's experience before, during, and after whole travel, whether they come with a bike or a car or something else, and helping them throughout the whole experience of it. The other thing is that we're really an integral part of Region Skåne, meaning that we are a vehicle, we're a really important part of creating this Skåne where everything feels very accessible and close and nearby. So we're really having a lot of positive engagement and investment from the regional management in that sense. So it's really about creating this place for living, the natural choice for traveling in Skåne. Just a little bit of numbers. I think it's boring maybe for the most of it, but I think it's an incredible journey that from 99 we've had 79 million travels per year, and last year we had 153 million. I don't think most people think about this in their everyday travels because they're of course just thinking about their own needs, but this is really the development that we had, and this is the ambition going forward with 224 million travels in 2020. And this is where I need you guys' help to really create this experience that makes people choose the public transport. A lot of the previous developments have come from building the bridges or tunnels underneath Malmö and so forth. So I think we really need to now transform into being a service company, being something that really delivers a service design that's exceptionally good. I think digital tools is the way to do that. So basically, a lot of people traveling every day, 250,000 people, and in another way put, all these buses and trains, we're driving with the buses 15 laps around the globe every day. So I think that's sort of the perspective of the data and the movements that we're talking about here that I think we should utilize in a much better way. So some of the things that we're trying to achieve here is, of course, the growth in traveling. That's the key target for the region as well. But also we need to, of course, have an improved level of customer satisfaction. Currently, it's not so good, and we really want to improve that a whole lot. And I think, again, it comes back to how we can present and guide the travelers throughout their journey. We also want to go for high level of self-service to be cost efficient, and we have clear environmental targets as well. So we're trying to get all of our traffic fossil-free by 2020. I think we also need to look at new revenue streams. So thinking about how we can finance an even better public transport in the future, maybe by commercial actors. We've started to chart out our customers a little bit more, and currently we're in the project where we're making a new segmentation model. From the initial studies or focus groups that we had some spontaneous thoughts about the public transport today in Skåne. And some of these are, of course, obvious, but there's clear themes here about traveling together, about environmentally friendly, but also things about concerns about planning and knowing how you're supposed to use the service, or how you should plan the travel, basically. So there's a lot of concerns about the delays and waiting, of course, and how to manage. We're also now developing our digital channels and started to chart out some key personas that we want to build the experience around, for especially the homepage and the mobile channels. And we talk about Anna. She's a fairly frequent traveler, not every day maybe. She's having the travel card, but she's always a little bit insecure. Do I have the amount of cash on the card that I need? Where do I need to go? How do I connect? And all these questions that you have. We have Leon, who's more of a newbie, if you will. So he hasn't been traveling so much before, and he just moved in and wants to know if it's easy and affordable or price worthy enough to consider using public transport instead. And then obviously we have a lot of commuters, 100,000 customers that travel every day with their monthly or 30-day passes. And basically they want the really convenience of the information and all the guidance catered for them in an easy way throughout their travel. And they often have their regular trips that they make, so they know exactly where to be and so forth. But when it comes to disturbances or something that changes, they need instant and real-time information. So these are some of the personas that we're working on in that sense. And some of these things, of course, that people are, these are quotes from actual customers, so it's not myself making those up. But you can see that there's a lot of concerns about, again, the planning and how will I know where to go and where to connect and so forth. So it's about having the complete picture of the complete network and the complete traffic that's available to you and the alternatives that you have and what's going on right now. A little bit of sense of a control that maybe you have in the car, but you don't have so much in the public transport. So maybe we can create that together as well. So simplicity is one of the key things that we want to cater for, but we also, as I mentioned before, want to lift that view a little bit higher up than the pure transport. So this is just a few examples of how we can look at the journey before, during, and after. So we can create some value time, meaning that the time that you actually spend in the public transport, you can use for other things. So maybe you easily connect with a small display on your screen to have the number of minutes to the next departure. And while you're waiting, you're shopping for some groceries to use that time for something that makes sense. During the travel, maybe you can work, of course, but you can also use the entertainment system or socially interact with other travelers on that trip. Obviously, you want to have real-time information and positionings of the vehicles that's coming in. Maybe we can try gamification or education. Maybe you learn 5 new words every day of a new language when you go that little trip. So you, after 1 year, you're a fully fledged speaker of a new language. Or we can engage people to want to travel even more if you get points or CO2 levels that you can reach depending on how much you travel, or you can collect them together at your workplace. A lot of these ideas on how we can engage people and make it more attractive and interesting to use public transport. I also think this is really interesting when it comes to collaborating with other parties in this project, that we can look at the city, we can look at how we can connect and combine those informations from maybe the car or the bike or whatever that you need to make a multimode travel as well. So a lot of things that we can really make the time more valuable for the travelers. Yeah, this point is not so much about going into the details, but just trying to explain to you guys that we have a lot of touch points. Every day the customers meet all these things in their everyday travel. Everything from a timetable to a journey planner to a ticket machine to some personnel on board or off board or the traffic information signs or what have you. All of these things are what the customers meet every day. It makes it a little bit difficult for them as well, because it's not always that these things say the same thing or convey the same feeling. So delivering this experience to all of these customers will really be a challenge of managing our different touch points as well. So you can think about that as a challenge that we have. My last slide is basically some of the business challenges that we have as well. Obviously, we have a big transportation system with all of these vehicles of different sorts that move around, and we need to be efficient when producing that. So we don't want to, of course, drive buses or whatever with no passengers on. On the other hand, the passengers or the travelers need to have some sort of frequency or feeling level of confidence in when the bus is coming. So it's a little bit of a challenge. How can we make that cost efficient and at the same time feel very available for the people, right? So usually the challenge is the peak hour, and I guess you've always all experienced that when there's basically so many people that you can't fit on the bus, and that's really hard for us, of course, to get that kind of number of vehicles in. Or overall, how can we be more efficient in predicting those travel demands? We don't know exactly right now when the people will be traveling, but somehow in the system those informations are there. If we can predict it and plan the different routes more smart. Maybe we can get some customer feedback. Can we see the mood on the bus, and can we sort of in real time adjust our service delivery to the customers as well? Traffic safety, can we connect and see how reroute a bus if there's been an accident, or can we have a real level of creating a sense of safety on board, and that we have control and that there's always someone present on the bus? Eco-driving is an interesting. We've been trying to introduce smart driving, basically measuring the drivers on how they can what do you say, accelerate and brake more fluently, so you don't spend so much fuel on that trip. So it's both a what do you say, feeling of a smooth and nice ride, as well as having decreasing the impact on the environment. Yeah, and overall, of course, the customers would like to understand when the next bus is or the vehicle is arriving, and that's always difficult depending on traffic situations and what's going on out there. So I think there's a lot of things around the production and how we can deliver that both cost efficient and convenient for the customer, that I'd be really happy if you guys could spend some brain power on as well. So trying to wrap up, basically, I'm again really excited to be here. I think this is a first step for us to really be more engaging in terms of having a dialogue and collaborating with you guys, creative, innovative people that can bring a lot of value to the public transport, as well as engaging more with the customers to get the feedback early, not having a long cycle of procuring new systems, but really working more agile. And I think this project is really what we need to start that mindset. So thanks, and I hope you enjoy.